What if I told you that your brain could be programmed to chase your goals without you even thinking about it? Sounds impossible, right? Most people believe success is all about motivation, those bursts of energy that push you forward. But what if I told you that's completely wrong? Success isn't about motivation at all. It's about identity, and it starts much smaller than you'd ever imagine. By the end of this video, you'll understand the exact system that can transform your brain into an automatic goal-achieving machine. And the best part, it requires almost no willpower. Here's the first mistake almost everyone makes. They try to act successful before actually becoming successful. I need to think like a fit person. I need to feel like a writer. I need to believe I'm an entrepreneur. But here's the truth that psychology research has revealed. Your identity isn't the starting point. It's the result of what you consistently do. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, puts it perfectly. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. The secret to transforming your identity lies in small, repeatable actions, not in massive transformations or mindset shifts. When Olympic gold medalist Michael Phelps started swimming, he didn't focus on being the greatest swimmer ever. He focused on showing up to practice every single day, perfecting his turns, and optimizing his stroke. The identity followed the actions, not the other way around. But here's where things get strained. Your brain starts to change even when you barely notice it happening. Starting small isn't just okay. It's actually the key to rewiring your brain. I mean really small, ridiculously small. One push-up instead of a full workout, writing one paragraph instead of an entire chapter, drinking one glass of water instead of 8. These tiny actions might feel laughable at first, almost too easy to count, but they work because of how the brain functions at its core. Your brain's primary job is to detect patterns and build habits. When you perform even the smallest action consistently, your brain notices and begins creating neural pathways to make that action easier in the future. Stanford researcher B.J. Fogg discovered that tiny habits often expand naturally once they're established. Once you've done one push-up, the resistance to doing 5 more drops dramatically. Your brain has already activated the exercise circuit, and once your brain catches this rhythm, it starts building a new identity in silence. There's a powerful feedback loop constantly running in your brain. Action leads to identity, which leads back to action. Every time you take an action, your brain updates its understanding of who you are. And once your brain believes something about your identity, it guides your future actions to match that belief. If you read for 5 minutes every day, your brain slowly registers, I'm becoming a reader. This identity then makes it easier to read for 10 minutes tomorrow, then 15 the next day. Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman explains that repetition is the language of the nervous system. When you repeat an action, you're essentially telling your brain, this matters, remember this pattern. And the scariest part? This same mechanism works just as powerfully for bad habits. Every time you procrastinate, your brain strengthens the neural pathway that says, I'm a procrastinator. Every time you quit early, your brain reinforces, I give up when things get hard. So how do you escape these negative loops without getting caught in a willpower war? Here's a counterintuitive truth. Trying to stop a bad habit actually gives it more power. When you focus on not doing something, you're still focusing on it. The classic experiment proves this. Don't think about a pink elephant. What just popped into your mind? A pink elephant. Your brain doesn't erase, it replaces. Instead of fighting the urge to check social media, replace it with a different action when you feel bored. Rather than battling against late-night snacking, prepare a healthy alternative that satisfies the same craving. Charles Duhigg, who studied habit formation for years, found that the most successful habit changes keep the same cue and reward, but insert a different routine in the middle. Focus on planting better habits, not pulling out old ones. It's like gardening. You don't fight weeds directly, you simply crowd them out with healthy plants. But even habits need the right soil, and that's where your environment comes in. Your environment isn't neutral. It's silently pushing and pulling you every second of every day. Look around you right now. What do you see? A messy desk, a nearby phone, a visible TV remote. Each element in your environment is either making your goals easier or harder to achieve. Behavioral scientists call this choice architecture, the invisible forces that guide your decisions without you realizing it. When Google wanted employees to eat healthier, they didn't give lectures on nutrition. They simply moved the salad bar closer to the entrance and the desserts farther further away. Healthy eating increased by 25% with that one chain. The same principle works in your personal space. Make bad habits hard to access. Make good habits effortless to begin. Remove visual triggers for behaviors you want to avoid. Richard Thaler, who won the Nobel Prize for his work on nudge theory, showed that even tiny environmental changes can dramatically shift behavior over time. You can even booby-trap your space to steer your brain in the right direction. Want to transform your habits? Start hacking your environment with strategic visual cues. Leave a water bottle where you typically sit to remind yourself to hydrate. Place your journal on your pillow so you have to move it before sleeping. A perfect trigger for your nightly reflection habit. These are your habit triggers, environmental nudges that whisper what to do next. They bypass your conscious decision-making and speak directly to your automatic brain system. Want to read more? Put a book where your eyes naturally land when you sit down on the couch. Want to exercise in the morning? Sleep in your workout clothes and place your shoes right beside your bed. Nir Eyal, author of Indistractable, recommends creating pacts with your environment, strategic barriers that make unwanted behaviors more difficult. Password protect distracting apps. Use website blockers during focus hours. Set timers that remind you to move on from low-value activities. But even the best environmental design fails if you're running on empty. Time management is overrated. Energy management is the real game changer. Your brain doesn't work at the same capacity throughout the day. It has natural focus, peaks, and energy valleys based on your circadian rhythm. Legendary peak performance coach Tony Schwartz discovered that working with these natural cycles, rather than fighting against them, can dramatically increase productivity without increasing effort. Identify your most energetic hours and protect them ruthlessly for your most important deep work. Use your natural energy dips for shallow tasks that don't require creativity or complex thinking. And here's what most people miss. Real growth happens after the work, during recovery. Your muscles don't grow during a workout, they grow during rest. Your brain operates on similar principles. Schedule deliberate recovery periods. Take actual breaks. Get proper sleep. The highest performers aren't those who work the most hours. They're the ones who work the most focused hours and then fully disconnect. So now that your habits are in motion and your energy is aligned, what's next? Let's put everything together. Repetition wires the brain. Energy fuels it. Environment shapes it. When these three elements align, something magical happens. You don't need to force yourself toward your goals. You become the person who naturally achieves them. Over time, your goals stop feeling like effort and start feeling like autopilot. The writer who initially struggled to write 100 words now effortlessly produces 1,000. The beginner who couldn't run a mile now craves their morning 5K. Remember, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And the craziest part, you're probably already doing this, just in the wrong direction. Every day, you're training your brain towards something. The only question is, are you training it intentionally? If you found this helpful, hit subscribe for more videos on mastering your mind and reaching your potential. Drop a comment below, sharing one small habit you're going to start today to train your brain. Remember, it's not about motivation. It's about becoming the kind of person who automatically does what it takes to win. See you in the next video.